How's it going, people? It's Charlie, and welcome back to the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Yes, that's right. As I'm sure you can see down below and on Twitter and Instagram and things, I have taken the decision to change the channel name to Chatting Leeds. As you know, I love just speaking about the football club that I support and that I love. And the feedback and the response from all my Leeds content so far has been really positive. So that's why I've taken that decision. Whenever there's an international tournament or anything like that, though, I am going to still keep doing content on that, which is what I'm doing today with my Euros predictions for the group stages. We're only a few days away now, guys, from the start of the Euros, so I thought I'd jump on and just give my predictions on how the group stages are going to go. And I will give my outside opinion on who I think is going to win the competition outright before a ball has even been kicked. So, the message is always going to be the same, guys. Smash that like button, please subscribe, and let's get into it. So then, guys, let's kick things off with Group A. And now Group A features Italy, Switzerland, Wales, and Turkey. So from this group, guys, I'll speak about Wales first as they're a home nation. I don't feel like Wales will get out of the group. I feel like Italy and Switzerland are going to dominate this group, and I think those two will go through to the next stage of this Euros. Wales, I know they had a really good tournament last time out in the Euros. They got all the way to the semi-finals, which fair play to them then, but I just don't see that sort of luck happening with this one. Obviously, the main threat is Gareth Bale, but he might be world class, and he is, in my opinion, world class. But the team around him are just not. And the only game I can see him winning is the game against Turkey when they play them. Other than that, I can't really see them gaining any other points. Obviously, Italy, we've got world class players. I think they'll finish top of this group, actually. They've got the likes of Immobile, Insigne, Jorginho as well, from Chelsea, who has just won the Champions League. So he'll be on high spirits. Is in good form as well. I think Italy are in really good form actually from the friendlies and warm up games that I've seen recently. They do look really good, and I think they'll be a force to be reckoned with during the whole tournament. If I'm honest, Switzerland I think will finish runners up in this group. They've got some really good players as well. One that stands out to me is Shaqiri from Liverpool. I think he's a really underrated player, if I'm honest. Yeah, I know he's mainly used as a substitute at Liverpool, but I still feel he's got a lot to offer, and I think he might have quite a good tournament with Switzerland. Turkey, I'm not going to claim that I know any real Turkish players. The only one I can really think of is maybe that Cenk Tosun, is it? The guy who played for Everton. But even that, I think I can't see Turkey getting a point at all in this group. And I think, yeah, they'll join Wales by leaving the tournament in the group stage. So, yeah, that's it for Group A. On to Group B now, guys, which features Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. Again, a group which I think is only gonna feature two teams doing really well, and that's I think Belgium and Denmark. Belgium obviously have the threats of Lukaku, De Bruyne, Hazard, Alderweireld, Courtois, the list goes on. They've got a really good team. And I think it's kind of now or never for Belgium in terms of winning a tournament. I'll be honest, I don't think they're going to win this tournament. But in terms of their kind of mindset, I think they will be thinking like that. They have had some good tournaments of late in terms of the World Cup and the last Euros. They just didn't quite work. They've got talent up and down that pitch, and hopefully they'll be able to have a good tournament. I think they will get far. I just don't think they'll go all the way and win it. I think second in the group will be Denmark, as I said previously. Denmark have got some really good players. Christian Eriksen obviously does stand out as their kind of focal point in that midfield, and I think he kind of instigates all their attacks and is pretty good defensively for them as well. Russia, I think, will push Denmark for that second spot. I just think Denmark will have the edge. I don't claim to name any players from the Russian or the Finland team, if I'm honest with you, which is why I put them as the bottom two. But, I may be proven wrong because Russia did have a good Euros, I believe, in the last Euro, so that could be the case again. I just don't see Belgium and Denmark going out at this stage, and I think they'll progress through to the next stage of the Euros. On to Group C now, guys, which features Holland, Austria, North Macedonia, and Ukraine. Now, if you're literally just looking at this group in terms of the names of these countries, I'm putting Holland at the top of the pile. Likes of Wijnaldum, Depay. I was gonna say Virgil van Dijk, but he's out of the Euros, isn't he? But needless to say, they have got a really good side of Holland compared to the other teams in that group. They're a cut above the rest for me. Austria, if I'm honest, the only player that I can think of from the Austrian team is Alaba, who's just joined Real Madrid from Bayern Munich. Really good left back, centre back. You can play at either one really, so he'll have that experience in that team to hopefully drive them forward. North Macedonia, we've got a Leeds lad there in Gianni Alioski. Unfortunately for Gianni, though, I do think North Macedonia will crash out at the group stage. They are looking okay in the warm-up games that I've seen. I just think compared to the other teams in this group, I just can't see them gaining anything from it, really. I think Holland will definitely win this group. And then second place is, Ukraine and Denmark. I could even see them ending it on the same points and it just going on goal difference or something, because I think it's really close. I think the two similar sides in terms of quality. So I see it being a straight shootout for second spot between Austria and Ukraine. So then, guys, next up it's Group D, which features England, Scotland, Croatia, and Czech Republic. So we've got two home nations in this. Obviously, being English, I am going to back England to finish top of the group. I feel like you've just got to be optimistic, aren't you? Sorry. I know it's England. I know it's a major tournament. But if we're judging off the last World Cup when we got to the semis, we massively overachieved, I think. And I know that a lot of people are saying, that once we came up against a top side in Croatia, that we got sussed out. It could be that, and I can agree with that to an extent. But at the same time, I just think, we took the lead way too early in that game, earlier than we expected, and trying to cling on to that lead just proved very difficult. Croatia were in full flow that night. Modric just bossed that midfield, and we were fairly beaten in the end. Now, obviously, we've got Croatia in this group, and they're our first game on Sunday, which I will be doing a pre and post match reaction to. So stay tuned for that as well, guys. But yeah, just briefly, I do think England will win the group. Even if Croatia do beat us in that opening game, I still think we can win this group. As for Scotland, I'll say we've got a Leeds lad in Liam Cooper. Well, we've of course got a Leeds lad in Calvin Phillips playing for England. Just to briefly touch upon that, sorry, can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, Calvin, really good that he's in this squad. I know he's not Leeds anymore, but Ben White as well recently being added. Unbelievable achievement, really buzzing for him as well. As for Scotland, we've got Liam Cooper in there from Leeds. A few known players, the likes of John McGinn, Che Adams, Andy Robertson, of course, from Liverpool. I don't see Scotland doing particularly well in this group. I think the only winnable game that they've got is against the Czech Republic. I think it'll be our easiest game of the group, will Scotland. I can see the Croatia game either being an England win or a draw. And I think Scotland and Czech Republic will be wins for us. I think it will be us and Croatia that go through as we're the best nations in that group. And unfortunately for the Jocks, I can see them crashing out at the first hurdle. On to Group E now, guys, which features Poland, Spain, Sweden, and Slovakia. I can see this being a really interesting group to watch. Poland have obviously got the clash, the likes of Lewandowski. They've got a Leeds United player in the form of Mateusz Klich. Szczesny in goal, that experience and quality that they've got in that team is really good. I can see them going through out of the group. Spain, we've got Diego Llorente from Leeds, we've got Ferran Torres from City, Rodri from City, Thiago from Liverpool, these sort of names. Very surprised to see that Sergio Ramos was left out of the squad. I felt like he was one of those players that no matter how good of a season he had, he's just a name that you throw in there. But fair play, if they don't feel he was good enough, then fair play for leaving him out. I believe PK is involved as well. Azpilicueta from Chelsea. They've got quality all over the pitch, which a lot of these nations do. I've said that about some of these nations already. I feel like it is going to be a very interesting and competitive Euros overall this summer, which is why I can't wait for it to start. Sweden and Slovakia, again, I've said it previously. I don't claim to know a lot of players that play for either of those nations. As you're kind of gathering from this group, I am putting Poland and Spain to go through. And I think the game between those two will be very good to watch as well. Sweden and Slovakia, unfortunately, I just don't think they'll have the quality and the players to keep up with the likes of Poland and Spain. So unfortunately, I think they will crash out at the group stage. And guys, the final group to go through is a group that a lot of people are calling the group of death. So it is Group F, which is featuring Germany, Portugal, France, and Hungary. I mean, I think you can sort of tell from this group that if Hungary manage to go through, then I will be amazed. I'm actually rooting for Hungary to go through. I don't think they will, but it'll be amazing if they manage to pull that off. Again, don't claim to know anything about their nation, so I'm just going to say now that I think they will finish bottom of the group. But as I said, it would be amazing for them to get through. Obviously, the other nations, France, Mbappe, Giroud, Pogba, Varane, they've just got just really good players. Karim Benzema has been included as well, which I think is thoroughly deserved after his great season at Madrid. They've just got utter quality all over that pitch, and I can't wait to watch France play. As long as they don't end up playing against England at any point, then we'll be all right. I just think they're really, really good to watch. I am tipping France to definitely go through out of this group. I think out of them, Portugal and Germany, they've got the slight edge, I think. On to Portugal, obviously, they have got Cristiano Ronaldo, who we don't need to go into the quality and what he can bring to that team. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes from Man U. They've got a lot of players that feature for Wolves. João Moutinho, Ruben Neves, Nelson Semedo. And Portugal are a funny one as well. Obviously, I know that they won the last Euros. They actually beat France in the final, didn't they? But have they got enough to go through? I mean, I'm not so sure. I think the second spot is obviously going to be down to Portugal and Germany. I think Germany, another Leeds player in the Euros in the form of Robin Koch. Whether he'll feature a lot, I don't know, because they have got good defensive options already. But they've got the likes of Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Thomas Muller, Jerome Boateng. Again, another top class nation. So if I was going to say who's going to join France in progressing through the group, I'm going to say Germany. I think just. Only just though. I think it'll go down to the final game of the group. I think it's going to be a very, very close group and an interesting group to watch, and I can't wait to watch it. So then, guys, that's been my predictions for the group stage of the Euros. Just to summarise, out of all the nations that we've discussed, if I was to pick one team to win the tournament outright, I'm going to go with France. I just think the threats that they've got are just going to be a lot for these other nations to handle. In terms of England, I won't give my England prediction just yet. I'll give you my prediction for England in my pre-match for the Croatia game, actually. But yeah, I think England can do well in this tournament, but I just think France are a different animal, and I think it'll be hard for a lot of these nations to actually cope with their threats going forward. So anyway, guys, if you have any thoughts on how you think this summer's Euros is going to go, then drop me a comment in the comment section below. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.